Hello everybody, this is Nick from Arcade-Hunters.com, and I'm bringing you an arcade home port review, and today I'm checking out Gremlins 2, the new batch from Sunsoft. Now, this isn't an arcade home port review. I just recently got this game, and I really want to know why I forgot about it. I think it was just because, it was a movie license game. Maybe that's why I didn't bother picking it up, but I remember when they used to cover this a lot in Nintendo Power, about the stuff with the game with all the big bosses that you could fight in it. And finally I found the game over at Video Games New York in New York City, and picked it up for about $10, and was really well worth the money. And if you can notice from these videos, the quality is not that good. The problem was, when I did the first batch of NES games I reviewed, I used a VCR and then went into making a DVD and then burned the DVD to my computer. So thankfully I'm not going to be using the VCR anymore, so I'm going to end up going through the last of the NES games that I did, and I'm going to be going straight to DVD, so you'll be seeing the quality improve. So back to the game. This game came out in 1990, around the same time the movie did, Gremlins 2, the new batch. And, the movie, I loved it as a kid. It was this whole send-off to the way sequels were. It was self-aware. I liked how it made fun of itself, and this game is excellent. Made by Sunsoft, so you can hear in the music. It's got that great sound that you probably know from games like Blaster Master, and even Journey to Silius, that, thank God for internet reviewers like, of course, Happy Video Game Nerd. I completely passed up on that game as a kid, and was able to pick it up for $5, and this is another game I'm really glad I picked up on. You play as Gizmo, as you can see, and you start out the game, you just have a crappy little tomato that you throw, and it really does nothing. But throughout the game you can get a match that throws a little ball of fire. You can also add on to that so it shoots a three-way ball of fire, and you can also make a little makeshift bow and arrow, like Gizmo did in the movie. And Gizmo was always one of my favorite characters growing up as a kid. I always loved him, and I'm pretty sure I had one of the old dolls when I was a kid. And don't remember all the bats in Gremlins 2, except for the one gremlin that takes the serum and turns into a bat. But this is a very good platformer. It just harks back to the way Sunsoft was. They were one of the best third-party developers on the Nintendo, and it's really sad to see that now all they do is cell phone mahjong games in Japan. They did re-release some of their old classic games like Blaster Master and Journey to Silius and a couple of other games on the PlayStation in Japan, but none of that ever came over here. And it just seems like after they did Astral Superstars on the Sega Saturn, and even Waku Waku 7 on the Neo Geo, that pretty much Sunsoft has just pretty much gone and died. They haven't really done much. And it's pretty sad, because they did make a lot of great games. And Gremlins 2 is one of them, along with Blaster Master, Batman, of course, on Batman 1 and 2, if you can get over the insane difficulty in Batman 2. But, the bosses are a cakewalk. And once again, I'm glad I picked up this game. It's a lot of fun. It controls pretty spot on. Takes you a while to get used to it. You really want to go through the items. You have to talk to the old man. You pick up these orbs here, and you can use them as currency. And one of the biggest things is the balloon. You need to have that balloon, because if you do fall, which you will end up doing on the platforms, you can automatically sprout up with the balloon. You can hover right over where you had problems. The problem is you can only hold one of them at a time, and it does take up a heart, so it's best not to use them, but, when they're there, they are so useful to have it. You also have the flashlight that you can pick up with the little light bulb that has, the bright light that all the gremlins hate and they disappear. And the game pretty much just ramps up in difficulty as you go on, because this is the regular first stage where you're just fighting in the office, where I'd never seen an office that has spike walls and stuff like that, but it goes right into the games with the, right here, you're getting into the office where Billy is, and right after, you go over here, there's the end stage, there's a little cutscene, just like in the movie, where the drops of water go onto Gizmo's back and turns out the other three evil gremlins. And that was another thing about Gremlins. It doesn't matter, like, you know, I guess Gizmo's the only good Gremlin that they have. He's the only good Mogwai, because if you ever, God forbid, if you ever do get water on him, none of them will ever be nice. And I never got that as a kid, you know? It was like, I think that one Gremlin might have been nice that the professor took a blood sample of, but other than that, you know, stay the hell away from them. They're gonna kill you. Or just mess with you, because always reminded me when I thought of Gremlins of the old Warner Brothers cartoon, which is, I guess, a good reason why they had them in the animated sequel with Gremlins 2, where they had that little beginning of it. So, right here's the end, and you collect the match for extra firepower. Thanks very much for watching, and check out more from arcade-hunters.com.